Hi all, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Let's start rebooting work using UiPath. In today's session, we are discuss about activity examiner. So what actually activity examiner? So I just rephrase this entire activities as an activity examiner. So which help you to examine each and every activities executions. So which is slow steps which help you to interpret and understand what are the activities has been executed and execution trial so also will help you to understand so what are the activities has executed successfully and what are not, and this highlight element will help you to capture and understand in particular what type into our box or like click, so what action going to performed on, and then this logging activities help you to log each and every activities is going to be performed, and those will be tracked in the output panel, and continue errors so which help you to bypass your errors and then move on to the next execution of the activity. So these are the kind of activities which help you to improvise your code and performance. So these slow steps and each and every as play a vital role in your execution to understand so where as the error has been occurred and so how to rectify those. So let's quickly jump back to the UiPath Studio and start our today's session. So let me go to the UiPath Studio. So already we are using this debug panel workflow, right? So what I'll do here, I'll just going to reuse my local panel activities. Okay. So what I'll do here, I'll just comment out this using Control D, and then so already as we know that, so I just made some activity for the local panel, right? So what I'll do, I'll just enable this one, Control E. So I'm just going to use this particular activity for our today's session now. So we are going to use our slow steps, execution trial, highlight elements, log activities, and continue on it. So let's start doing one by one so that we can understand so how it works actually. So what I will do here, I will just click on this. So once I clicked on this, you can see something called as 1x, right? So what actually it means, so it will slow down the steps into 1x speed, okay? So that you can see step by step, so what are the activities are going to be executed. And then, so execution trials, which I discussed earlier, so to help you to understand what are the activities are successfully done. So it will make a tick mark so that we can understand these kind of activities as executed, and then highlights and then log. So what I am going to do now, so I just going to check all these four. Okay, I'll just take a small example for this continue on a bit later. So in between that, so I'll going to execute all these four in a single run. Okay, so what I'll do, so for this we don't need to make any debug point or anything, so let it be. So this slowdown will help you to understand what are the steps are going to be executed one by one like a breakpoint. Okay, so let me click on debug. So once I clicked on debug, so that I can understand so what are the activities are executed one by one. Since I made as a 1x, you can make it as 2x, 3x. So there is several kind of slow steps you can make your increment. So here you can see, right? So this particular username activity has been executed, password, and then so you can see a tick mark also, right? What actually it means, this particular activity has been executed successfully. The yellow marks indicate it's in during execution, in progress. Once you have seen a green sign, then it means it has been executed successfully. So it is highlighting where it is going to enter with the help of highlight, and then so it will go to the password and it's going to highlight once again. Then it is going to enter the password, and then so it's going to highlight the logins. So with the help of highlight elements, it started highlighting each and every elements where actually it is going to perform an action. So once it got highlighted, it's starting type, right? So our execution is done perfectly. So you have been seeing the slow steps, execution trial, and then highlight element as well. So where you see this log activities. So let me go to the output panel. Okay, so you can see here, right? So each and every execution has been logged over here in the output panel. So you can see something called as log panel executing, executing, assign close. What actually it means? So this particular assign activity has been started and then ended. So this one actually started and ended. Likewise, so it is showing each and everything in a log panel. Okay, so it is logging each and every activities wise, so that we can get each and everything logged over here. No, we no need to do anything like a manual logging when you are going to use this log activities. So now, what actually mean the continue on exception? So what actually it mean? So if you are facing an error, okay, let's assume, so if you are facing an error, so during those times you have to code some way that it should execute on the next step. Okay, even though error has been occurred, it need to go to the next step. So in those scenarios, you can go ahead and check on continue on exception. Will help you to unlock or bypass the exception and then move to the next step. Okay, so you may be seeing this thing in an activity level as well. So let me show in the type into. So in this type into, you can see something called here, right? Continue on error. So for each and every type into or click activity, you can see something called here as continue on error, which help you to unlock or bypass the exception. Okay, which help you to move to the next step. So if you are going to check on this continue on exception, what actually it will do? So even though it was not able to identify the selector of an email, it will go to the password. It will not throw an error in this particular step itself. It will move to the next step. So with the help of continue error, even though error has been occurred, we can move to the next steps. So this is the main use of an continue on exception. So let me do a live example now. So let me try to revalidate this particular selector of an email ID. Okay. So what I'll do here, so voluntarily I'll just make some correction in the selectors. Okay. Let me try to open this. So let me click on logout. So once I clicked on logouts, once I click on validate, I can see this is a valid selector, right? Let me click on validate. So this is a valid one, correct? So what I'll do, I'll just voluntarily make this as an invalid one, okay? I'll just validate more this as, this is the one, and then click on validate. So now this is not going to be validated since I just manually entered something wrong, okay? Let me click on okay now. And then just try to click on this continue on exception. Okay, so we just clicked on continue on exception now. So what actually it means? So even the error has been occurred in the email, it should bypass and it should go to the next activity. Okay, let me try to close this browser and start our execution. Let me click on debug. Let me wait for the bot to get started. So bot has been started now. So it is going to the username, password. So it will be launching the ACME site now. So it will be trying to enter the email ID now. So since we have made a wrong selector, so it will not able to highlight the particular email ID. So it will skip that particular one and it will move to the password now. So let's wait for a few minutes so that it will going to check for the particular selector which is nothing but email ID. So since it was not able to found the email ID, so it will skip and it will move to the password and it will try to highlight the password and enter the password. After that, it will try to click on the login. Let's wait for a minute. It will be trying to search for the email ID now. Since we have made wrongly, so it is trying to find. So it was not able to do that. So you can see that it has been highlighted the password, not an email ID, and then it's going to highlight the login and just click on login. So here, what actually we are able to find? So even though the error has been occurred, we have made a wrong selector in the email ID, the profile got executed, right? So it has moved to the next step. So even though if you want to bypass some error, so you can go here and click on this error on exception, so which help you to bypass the error and go to the next execution activity. Also, don't forget to check on this particular continue on error activity. So before executing this one, okay. Just try to click on this continue error and then try to execute this particular action. So I hope you will be very clear about how to work with the slow steps, execution profile. So this will give a clear picture to understand. So what are the execution? So what are the activities are executed successfully, and so where the particular element is going to be entered. So these are the things we can check in detail with the help of these activities. I hope you like this session. Thanks for watching. Happy learning. Have a good day.